Okay guys, this price action is melting faces with the meme coins, with Bitcoin, with a lot of other projects. Some projects are kind of stagnant right now, which is kind of crazy. And then you have the memes just popping off, guys. So I want to tell you a little bit about my thought process on how you kind of unwind this, or how you scale out of this without completely burning yourself or losing all your gains. Now, how much time do we have here for this kind of run up? And I think it's very, very possible we're going to have this like elongated double peak kind of scenario. You know, the halvening is coming up in April, and I think by mid-March, so let's say in a couple weeks, some people will start to pull their money or reconsolidate their money in maybe less aggressive plays. They'll secure the bag. Maybe they'll go into stables to some respect and provide liquidity and start printing money. Maybe they'll go over into blogging platforms like Blurt, Steam, Hive, that kind of thing, and really crank up and just start printing. So I think we'll see that kind of happen. There might be a little bit of a sag, but you know, the boomers, they might just keep throwing money at the ETF products, and they might be playing catch up, and they don't kind of anticipate there being any kind of a, you know, drop before the halvening. You know, and a lot of times with these buy the rumor, sell the news type events, sometimes it doesn't go right up next to it. Maybe it'll start to fall sometimes even a month before, 2 weeks before, that kind of thing, that it doesn't even make it up right to the event, to where the sell actually happens, like, you know, at the event or right after the event. We kind of saw that, you know, with the ETF product, that, you know, we did have this sort of sell off, but that more kind of happened like right after it. Now, how high could we go, sort of in this first phase, or this first kind of run up? And you know, I think it is you know, certainly likely to, you know, pass through the all-time highs. We're almost there. You know, it was like hitting 67,000 for Bitcoin, and you know, but I can see this kind of running up 75, 80,000, 85,000 even, and you know, and then these meme coins, just they're just absolutely going insane. You know, I was saying the other day that even when Doge was, you know, down 13 or 14 cents, I could just easily see it getting to 24 cents pretty quickly. And obviously today it seemed like it was cranking up 17, 18 cents. So it gets close. It doesn't take long when things are popping off this hard. And Shiba Inu just, like, just coming up, right? Just biting at Doge's ankles. And you know, but I think a lot of people maybe think in the same respects as I do, where a lot of these other projects, I secure the bag and I stack more Doge, and then I can lever against that Doge, and that's the important part. You can lever against the Doge on the Binance Smart Chain, and they'll lever against the Doge to borrow stable coins to buy more Doge. And as this thing cranks up and more people are doing that kind of thing, winding this thing up, obviously you're applying all this leverage. At some point you have to unwind it. So, you know, we go another week of this kind of face melting type of gains, and you know, I'm going to want to kind of de-lever off of that and unwind that a little bit, pay off some of these DeFi loans. And even when these DeFi loans, let's say it even says like, okay, you'll be paying like 25% for USDC, or, you know, something along those lines, maybe even 30%. I saw it cranking up on Venus. You know, you're not playing this out for a year. You know, playing it out for a few days, a week kind of thing. You're doing this, cranking it up, and then, you know, don't get burned by it. You know, cover your loans, de-lever out of this, and then, you know, secure the bag. But, you know, there's a lot of upside with Doge. You know, a lot of people are super interested in the Dogetional stuff. And, again, I can't emphasize enough that the ability to lever is huge for something like Doge to be on these money markets. Now, you can't lever up as much as you can with like Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC or Tether. It's like you can do a loan to value ratio of like 43% on your Doge. You can lever a little more on Litecoin, you can lever a little more on Ethereum, but like USDC, you can lever up, like, let's say if you were posting USDC as collateral, you can do a loan to value ratio of like 82%. Now, I want to mention the cbbi.info. This is Colin Talks Crypto's metric that he has put together that takes in multiple different factors, and he studied previous, bull markets and bear markets, and the price action, and accumulated all that. And this tool is actually really, really solid. Kind of gives you an indicator of where we're at. Now, as reference, last bull market, when we went up the first time, in earlier 2021, and we went, around 64, 65,000, that actually got up to like 97. So 97 out of 100. And then when we went up the second time and we actually touched 69,000, that metric came in at 85, a score of 85 out of 100. So interestingly enough, the price ended up being a little bit higher. We had a strong wick up, but the CBBI score was a little bit lower. Previous cycles, the scores went up to around 97 out of 100, like in the 2017 peak. That went up to 97. And then in these lows, it usually seems to get around 3 or 5. And for this last time, when we went down to 15,800, that score actually got clear down to 3 out of 100. So actually, this turned out to be a pretty solid indicator. Right now, we are at 78 out of 100. So my thinking is, here in a week or two, for Bitcoin, we would probably be up around that 85% if this thing keeps cranking like it has been, based on these various different metrics. And that would be, maybe an indicator to, change your activity, or maybe secure the bag, or be in a situation that is going to allow you to print money. And knowing that we could be getting closer to this first peak, or to where there would be maybe some kind of cool off stage. Now, the alts might pop up for like a week more kind of thing, and week or two more, and be like crazy price action and stuff as people kind of spill more into that. People have already started to do that. Obviously the degens, they're jumping at the meme coins immediately kind of thing. And, I do kind of expect some sort of cool off period, but here's the risk. If you totally get out, if let's say you totally got out of, let's say Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum, and your Doge, and some of these core pillar holdings, if you got totally out of that, and let's just say it doesn't really dip as much as we think, like beyond the halvening, and kind of like later here in 2024, then it's just like you could end up in a situation where the timeline gets far enough ahead, and then you kind of get left behind as we run up for a peak that would maybe be in late 2025. So that's a big risk, is getting out of it and getting left behind. So I would almost say getting more out of the crazy degen stuff, trying to consolidate in more of these pillar assets that you can lever against, and then trying to earn yield to stack more of those pillar assets as we go on. But it is tough to do, because there could be stuff that you need to pay off, or you want to make some kind of purchase. It could be properties, it could be some car purchase. Maybe you got to a point where you're wanting to take down some kind of real world asset kind of thing with your gains and stuff like that. And it's tough not to sell out and everything, certainly at this point of the cycle. But obviously we're in a different environment than we've ever been in. This is really kind of the first, and people sit there and argue about us being a recession or not. You can call it a silent recession, or you can call it a lot of things. Yeah, the stock market has hit all these all-time highs and stuff like that off of the backs of a handful of different companies, and crypto is popping off and stuff like that. So depending on where someone's assets are, they might not necessarily feel it as much as other people, but there are a lot of people that are hurting pretty bad. Food prices are out of control. Fuel prices are going up here in the United States as well. So that being said, again, I want to reemphasize the CBBI metric is up to 78 out of 100, and you see the metric where the greed indicator, we're getting into the extreme greed category. And we're up all night. We're freaking looking at this stuff, digging in, and you got to get really, really active during these periods of times. But just realize that this kind of crazy price action, could have some sort of cooling effect. It could be, time to lock in gains. Don't get too greedy. But in these pillar assets, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, BNB, Bitcoin, that kind of stuff, selling completely out of it is likely not a good idea. We see all the inflation with fiat currencies, and at some point this kind of makes some sort of global takeover. This becomes sort of world reserve assets, which I've already considered it that. So anyway, guys, just take that in consideration. What do you guys think about the CBBI metric? I'll put a link below if you haven't looked at it, but it is very interesting in all the indicators that it kind of accumulates. I actually think it's a very, very interesting metric and a very interesting thing to look at and just take note of. I'm not going to say it's going to be exact, but Colin Talks Crypto, he really looked into a lot of things and sort of studied these past markets and stuff like that, and he does a really good job and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I'll leave a link below to that, and you tell me what you guys think. Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam, and Twitter, Hive, DTube, Blur, everywhere.